life is a chance itself. I figure that God put me here to be the best, to live the best, and to do the best that I could. Where there is little risk, there is no reward, and I like to live like a king. I never had much of an education, so I take the risk for the reward, and I'm happy for it.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
Robert Knievel was born in Butte, Montana in the year 1938. 2 years later, his parents divorced and he was sent to live with his grandparents. Now, Grandma was pretty upset about the divorce because, in her opinion, one should keep their word. Now, this was a phrase that Grandma would use very often as an analogy throughout Knievel's childhood. After Knievel's sophomore year in high school, he dropped out and he went to work in a copper mine. A few years later, he was promoted and he was working on the surface of the mine, delivering heavy equipment. Now, in order to do this, they gave him one of those big trucks. It's called an earth mover. You may have seen them before. It's like a huge dump truck and it's got these big bouncy tires on them. Well, one day he was driving this truck and he was trying to pop a wheelie and he lost control of the truck. He hit a main power line. The city of Butte had no power and now Knievel had no job. Knievel began to have stints with the law. One night he was arrested for reckless driving a motorcycle. He was sharing a cell with a guy who named himself Awful Knaufel. It was at this time that Robert Knievel changed his name to Evel Knievel. For the next 10 years, Evel Knievel was jumping cars and Pepsi trucks in various arenas, similar to modern-day monster truck shows. He was most noted for jumping the Snake River in a little mini rocket. Now, one would think this message is about fear, and it is, but not fear of physical harm, the fear of psychological harm. See, Evel Knievel remembers the days from Grandmom pounding in his head that you must keep your word. And when Evel Knievel gave you his word, he had to keep it. And he had to keep his own word as well. Now, Knievel holds a record in the Guinness Book of World Records, which is quite interesting. Most broken bones by a human survivor. Now, it goes to show that keeping your word can be quite painful, but keeping your word can also put you in the record books. Have a great week and we'll see you next Monday.